My name is Tridip Suhrud and I'm an advisor to the Translation Fellowship project. I think what we're really looking at is an attempt to endow works which are non-literary. Right? We're looking to do what we call translations of knowledge, non-fiction largely, social text, political text, uh, philosophical text. And we don't have an organized structure in our country to either support such activities or a publishing environment which really takes works of philosophical nature or political theory nature or sociological text from languages and brings them into English. So it's a very, very important and a very large initiative, the only of its kind, and that's why it becomes very significant. I've been associated it from the very beginning, and when we started the process, I think the trustees had hope that this would something that would capture imagination of people. Good people will apply. This year we've have 900 applications. So it's clearly something, just in terms of sheer numbers, we're looking at a very significant rise. It's become very competitive. What we've also done is that we've kept the languages the same. So the emphasis is to work with 6 or 7 languages and see what is it that we can do over a period of 5 years through these languages. Extremely competent translations will begin to come out. And I think when they do, both the readers in the country and elsewhere will begin to realize that there is far greater depth and diversity of knowledge that Indian languages have to offer, and it is significantly different in terms of its orientation. So we're looking at very good times ahead for ourselves and for the activity of translation, for dissemination of knowledge from Gujarati, from Hindi, from Malayalam, from Bangla, from Urdu and Tamil into English to begin with. And sometimes it's possible that that activity will help us to move between languages without the intervention of English itself. So Gujarati and Marathi will begin to translate as significant texts begin to emerge. And I think that would be the kind of thing that the foundation will look forward to. Now, how many languages do we speak? 3, 4, 5. The best of us speak 6. Do we read them? Do we read enough of them? No, we don't. Our higher education, our academia, our policy making continues to operate through English language, largely. The kind of audience and readership that a book in Gujarati has could be vast, but it is not the same as having a readership in English or in Hindi. So we need to bring these texts and voices, knowledge, modes of thought, ways of writing into other languages. Let's also not forget that the way this country was imagined was through a federation of languages. Right? And if the languages don't speak to each other, it can only lead to much greater misunderstanding, conflict, unrest on linguistic lines. We've seen that, and we've come further away from that process, and in which, in the act of imagining India, translation played a very large role, and we have to keep institutional ways of supporting translation going. If you don't support it, the activity will go on, but it will not acquire the kind of focus, organizational ability, editorial support, financial wherewithal that a fellowship provides, and that's why it becomes important. I think what we've been very pleasantly surprised is the quality of translators who are coming up with deep knowledge of the field in which they're working. So there are political theorists working on political theory texts. There are historians working on very large, important historical, not memoir literature, but historical documents, works of history or historiography. People working on bringing text which will illuminate our understanding of a particular period or a particular person's life differently. And that's really been the, the, the pleasant surprise. What's also been very interesting is the commitment through which the translators have worked. There have been no delays, people have been at the job, submitting the work, consulting each other, consulting the mentor, language mentors when it's required, and the editorial support and the organizational support that the New India Foundation provides is of an exemplary nature. So, all of these things are working together to make this happen. Things are changing. I mean, fellowship is a very important thing because it allows you, it gives you the wherewithal to do it, put something aside, or it actually provides support to do research, support to do library work, sometimes archival work. It provides resources which only royalty payments don't do. And economics is money is an important consideration for a lot of activities which go on. We should not discount that and saying this is lowbrow. It's important, and since the economics of publication will not be able to do that, right? It has to be supported through grants, and it has to be supported through endowments, and that's what the foundation is trying to do. It's amazing. It's wonderful. I think every major publisher in English, whether this is an independent publisher or a large corporate publisher, is looking for works of translation. They're also being celebrated. Literary works are being celebrated world over. So there is a market. There is a category called translated works. Translated fiction has been a category, poetry has been a category, plays have been a category, but social science knowledge has not been a category. And that's what this foundation fellowship will create. And if you look at the range of publishers who are working with the foundation, it's everybody. It's everybody. So the publishing world is responding with enthusiasm.